Alright, hi everybody. My name is Kristina and I like to think about pop culture and share my thoughts here. And so today I thought, you know what? Let's do a little voiceover makeup tutorial, like a little check-in, just a little get ready with me, I guess, but in voiceover form. And let's just film a channel introduction, right? So here's my channel introduction video. So when you click on my channel, this should be the first video you see. Just to introduce myself, again, hi, I'm Kristina. I am 24. I am an Aries sun, Cancer moon, Libra rising. No, I don't sleep. Why would you ask me that question? I'm a Gryffindor INFJ. Those are just a bunch of personality traits or whatever, just to describe me, so you know what type of person I am. I do have an interest in pop personality traits, and I do think that your favorite boy band members do tell a lot about your personality. So here are my favorite boy band members. One is Justin Timberlake, which is tragic for me because we're about to publicly shame that man, which is okay. 2 is Joe Jonas, which slightly better for me. 3 is, I guess, Harry Styles. I wasn't really a Directioner, but I guess Harry Styles. If I had to pick a One Direction member whose solo work I enjoyed the most, Harry. But I will say, as of the filming of this video, I have not listened to Zayn's project. But by the time you see this video, I probably will have listened to Zayn's new album. So check in the description to make sure that Harry Styles is still my favorite member of One Direction. Who knows? And then, obviously, like, you know, the new Kings, BTS, V and Sugar are my favorite members of BTS, and Bumgyu is my favorite member of TXT, if you also care about them. So yeah, those are all personality traits of mine. Feel free to make whatever judgments you want from that information. My beginning of these videos, they start, hi, I'm Kristina. I like to think about pop culture and share my thoughts here. So what does that mean? What does that look like? You know, this is only video number 3, so I don't really know what it looks like, and nor am I going to put like a vast thesis statement on what I think this channel will entail. I think it will entail a lot of things as I explore the things I like to talk about and write about. So at the beginning, like now, I think that the channel is probably going to mostly include music content and internet culture content, because those are the things that I find are the easiest or quickest for me to write and get videos out, and probably like the easiest to learn how to make and paste these videos and edit these videos, and for me to use them as stepping stones to get up to longer, more complicated content. My first 2 videos, one was about stan culture in 2020 and one was about 2021 music industry predictions, right? So that's kind of like what you're gonna see for the time being. You'll probably see mostly music content, because next week I'm planning on doing a roundup of all the songs that were released in January and talking about what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy. So that'll be that. I'm not planning on doing like actual like music or song reviews like outright, because I still want some spontaneity. Oh my gosh. I still want my content to be fresh and kind of relating to current events. I will only do it in very occasional cases. So like, for example, right, I have my ears on the ground of stan Twitter, right? There is, you know, rumors that there's going to be a repack of BTS's B, right? We're probably going to do a review of that one, because I will probably be getting a physical copy, and there's probably going to be added music, and I didn't do a first review of B, so we can do like a B era review, especially because I wasn't really expecting a repack. I was just kind of expecting it to be what it was and for them to move on to a trilogy. But there's nothing else to say that my BTS prediction is not going to come true. There's nothing to say that they can't do a repack, a mini album, a full album, a repack all in 2021, because I don't really think they're going to be doing, like, they're not going to fly over to the States or Europe to tour. Sorry, like, that's the harsh reality. They're not coming over here to tour. We are not going to be ready in 2021 for foreign artists to come and tour. But there's definitely a possibility that they could be ready for Korea, Japan, maybe even Australia, because they're doing good and they haven't been to Australia in a while. This is a BTS tangent. Anyways, probably going to do a review of that. Other long form type music content I want to do, again, I'm really interested in reviewing sister albums. So Sweetener and Thank You Next, maybe Folklore and Evermore, but for Taylor Swift I have different ideas, particularly surrounding her remasters. I am someone who has missed the Taylor Swift train. I've never really been into her. I really did enjoy these last 2 albums, and I enjoyed a third of a lover. So I think it would be really interesting, assuming how she releases these remasters. She could release them all at once. She could release them week by week by week. As far as she goes, I think it would be really interesting for me to take a look into her remasters and listen to all of her songs from the beginning and kind of review them now that I'm older and more mature, and see what about Taylor Swift did I not vibe with as a child and really put into words why I missed the train, and if I'm on it now or if I'm not on it now. I do enjoy 30-year-old Taylor more than I think I enjoyed like 18-year-old Taylor. But again, I was like 11 when she was 18. I think it'll be interesting to look into that. So that'll be my music long form content, and kind of the gist of it. Just like whenever there's a really big release that needs to be talked about, that'll be what happens. Okay, and then so as far as like internet culture content, one of the things I'm definitely interested in doing is not defending, but I think people are a little too hard on stan culture, considering that stans are usually either like girls or gay people or black people, right? So we need to tone it down. The stan culture is bad, I think. And I will be the person to say, actually, the vast majority of stan culture is okay and normal people. You're only seeing the bad eggs. You're only seeing the crazy ones. There'll be that. And then also, like, I'm not really interested in covering YouTube drama. I am 100% going to cover Shane Dawson when he makes a comeback. I have a video in my mind where the title is going to be, should we let Shane Dawson off on YouTube? And it's going to be this exploration of the moral question of what types of creators should we allow online and what types of creators we shouldn't as users of these websites. I think a lot of the time people think about algorithms as this like thing that's just vague and nebulous, but it's like, no, like the algorithm wants you to interact, and it's recording your behavior, and it's going to show you more of the things you want to interact with, right? The reason I do think this is a wild claim, okay? So don't take this super seriously because I need to research it more. But I do think that the type of content Shane made in the early days of YouTube helped contribute to make the algorithm hyper pushed towards more edgy, offensive, alt-right content. And while Shane Dawson is not part of the alt-right pipeline, like PewDiePie is or whatever, I do think that his early form content with the edgy jokes helped create an algorithm that rewarded content like that, and then it kind of snowballed into there. Is it Shane's fault? No, but I think he definitely played a role in kicking it off, because the algorithm, I mean, it learns. It wants you to interact with things, right? You know, this is very complicated. And again, that's a wild statement. I don't know if the video is going to be about that statement specifically, but I am definitely going to explore the two sides of, should you watch the Shane Dawson thing or should you not watch the Shane Dawson thing? I will tell you right now, I will be watching the Shane Dawson thing. And I think a lot of people are going to end up watching the Shane Dawson thing because he's going to do a docuseries on himself. And that's going to be really interesting to see how he PRs himself after this. So even if I make a video saying, maybe not, or maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should find ways to discourage his old content and content like that, I also think a lot of people are going to end up watching his content, and I'm going to be one of them, but I will be making a video on it. What else? Other types of internet, I guess this kind of counts. This is kind of an intersection of politics and internet culture content, this type of thing that I want to do. I am definitely going to hold myself open to taking shitty opinion pieces and ripping them apart on here, because that's something that I personally enjoy doing, and I'm tired of seeing bad opinions. People know that they're bad opinions, and so I'm going to take bad opinions and rip them apart. Types of content that I'm hesitant to post about, which kind of overlaps with the op-ed thing, political content. Listen, I'm very hesitant to post political content for a lot of reasons, and I think the best way to explain it and the op-ed thing is through an example. So this week, instead of making this video, I was going to make a video on the Ben Shapiro Politico playbook piece that he wrote that was published on Thursday last week, because you're seeing this on a Tuesday. And I wrote out a whole script. It's 5 pages of me tearing apart Ben Shapiro in that piece, an article, because it's bullshit and Politico should not have uploaded it, right? It's BS. However, I am low energy this week, and I also am unsure if dunking on Ben Shapiro content is the best way to disengage and disempower. I don't want to necessarily disempower Ben Shapiro. The reason why is because I've been doing research on how to deprogram some of these MAGAs and how to reach out to people who are very far gone. Essentially, kind of not necessarily the people that insurrected the Capitol, but people who are busy watching Fox News all day, right? People like that. That kind of demographic is very similar to the Ben Shapiro demographic, except that the Ben Shapiro demographic is a lot younger, and those younger kids will graduate to watching Fox News at some point. Everything that I have seen so far about that type of stuff and how to deprogram from being a MAGA is that not necessarily that you need to mock their belief set or tear their belief set apart. You need to show them that there's a way to step away from that while still maintaining dignity. And so I'm just not sure if tearing apart Ben Shapiro content is the way to show people that there's a way out. There's a different way of thinking that will still afford them the dignity that they had before, that they don't have to be ashamed. They don't have to be ashamed of the way they thought before, as long as they're willing to learn better and do better now. And I think if me pulling apart Ben Shapiro saying conservatives think that they're going to be oppressed by the government for being super, like, I just don't know if that's the best way, right? And I know there's a lot of people smarter than me that says making fun of Ben Shapiro will show that you're a laughingstock and people don't want to be a laughingstock. But there are some people that are too far into it, you know, that I don't think will be pulled out by content like that. And so that's why I do have other ideas for political videos, but those ideas will involve much more planning, writing, and kind of more character work and becoming a character instead of just pulling apart op-eds. So I'm still leaving the op-ed option open because I do enjoy that. I think for some of the bigger issues, I'm going to leave it for my other idea, which I don't want to give too many details on just yet, because I have kind of half of an idea and I have to figure out how I'm going to put it in practice. And so it's a lot harder to talk about something that I don't have an idea of how to execute than I do for the other videos and content that I'm talking about. So, but that's stuff I'm probably going to end up aiming for like August. And the other type of content I want to make, the character type of content I want to make in regards to politics, that stuff I think will actually offer that here's a dignified way of a different way of thinking. You don't have to think the way that you were taught to. You don't have to think the way Fox News tells you to do. I think it will offer kind of that handout dignity thing that will be better for deprogramming than tearing apart Ben Shapiro stuff. And also, like, why would I spend time dunking on Ben Shapiro when I could spend time actually writing something that might actually work? You know, no one's going to listen to me if I dunk on Ben Shapiro, right? But people might listen to me if I give true credit to the way they think and then be like, but this is why you're wrong. You know, other types of content I'm hesitant to make, right? Not necessarily, so this is very different from political content, but I'm also very, very hesitant to make astrology content and astro content, if only because the field is so crowded and there's so many good astrologers. I personally shaky kind of on my astrology knowledge, and I don't really have a central like philosophy of reading a chart. I really just go, okay, where's the chart ruler? How's the chart ruler going? And then look at kind of other interesting aspects in the chart. And then also, I just don't want to be a professional astrologer. Like, that's just not the thing that I want to do. So if I do astrology content, and I only have a video idea for one piece of astrology content, it'll be fun, not serious astrology content that will definitely be up for like interpretation, and like other people can disagree with what I say, because it's not like I'm going to sit down and be like, I'm objectively right about this. The one idea for an astrology video is the just basically comparing BTS's group chart to the Grammys 2021 to see if they're going to win that Grammy. Since the date moved, I haven't looked at it hyper in depth, so I can't make a prediction, but had it been on the original date, the January 30th, 31st date that they originally had, they would have won, I think. That chart was very indicative of you are stepping up into a new power. And so I think it would be fun to make a video talking about BTS's group chart, talking about the Grammys chart, and talking about how the BTS's group chart and Dynamite's chart and the Grammys chart all kind of intersect, and like if they would get a Grammy or not. I will say though, another BTS aside, this is what happens. When you become an army, kids, I've jumped down a rabbit hole and I've never come back up. I will say they are going through a Saturn square this year. They have natal Saturn in Scorpio, and now Saturn is in Aquarius, so they're going through this like natal Saturn square, and that's like they're in their 7th year going into their 8th year in June, right? So this like a natal Saturn square is like literally, like think about your 7 to 8 year old, right? Like that's like around the time that they want to be like an adult. Not necessarily an adult, but they're not a little kid anymore. They want to have more responsibility. Maybe you're more comfortable letting them play outside alone. Their homework's a little harder, right? It's about up-leveling responsibility and becoming more responsible. I kind of went through a Saturn square a little bit, kind of. I have Saturn in very late degree Pisces. Very, very late degrees Pisces. And it's conjunct my Aries stellium. So Saturn just kind of squared all of that at once, and that, you know, was fun. And it was definitely about getting more responsibility and also understanding more of myself. So I definitely think that they're positioning themselves like this. I'll talk about it in the video I make. That's definitely a video that's gonna probably be in the beginning of March, probably right before the Grammys air, and then after the Grammys air I'll do a Grammy review. I think they're getting more responsibility, and for them that'll probably mean more spotlight, more notoriety, more attention, going places that other people have not gone before. Astrology content, again, it would only be very pop culture, like just fun, like what's this about content, not serious. There are plenty of really good serious astrologers that create content that you guys can go watch. Okay, and then as far as other content that I could expand into besides that, I'm definitely interested in doing movie and TV content. The only thing is that, again, I just need to get better at editing. Just gotta get better at editing and scripting, and then I can make movie content. I was gonna make a video on Disney's Soul, right, that Pixar movie, because it was very cute and it was very good. I don't know, I decided not to. And I just need to be better at scripting and editing before I do movie and TV show content. That's something, yeah, that's it. I just feel like I need to be better at editing, because it'll be longer form content, especially with TV shows, you know. As far as TV content, I definitely want to make a video on Riverdale, because I am a Riverdale truther. I consider myself a Riverdale truther in that Riverdale is good, actually, but because it functions as a parody, it functions as a parody of the teenage TV show. And if you think it's bad, you're not viewing it in the correct way, because no one on that set takes themselves seriously. No one in the writer's room takes themselves seriously, right? Like, it's supposed to be fun and funny and overdramatic, right? It's supposed to be like that because it's a parody. There might also be a Sabrina video, but like, a Sabrina video is just gonna be, this is a Shakespeare, like Sabrina's a Shakespearean tragedy. It's very obvious, and it's like the Riverdale writers flexing. They're like, we can write good sometimes, we just don't write good for Riverdale. Last, before I sign off here, right, why YouTube? I had tried other platforms before. In 2020 I had decided to do Instagram, and I tried to post daily, but that was really overwhelming for me, right? And then I had tried to do astrology content on TikTok, but again, that was also overwhelming for me, and I just don't want to be a professional astrologer. What I've always wanted to do was do content like this on YouTube, and like the type of content I'm making is the type of content I want to watch. And you know what, I sat down with myself and I was like, why do I have to try out these other platforms that might have better audience growth when this is the thing that I really want to do? And while starting a YouTube channel and struggling to grow it in 2020 and fighting against this crazy algorithm that no one knows what happens or what it does, like, you know what, whatever, like, I have fun doing this type of content. This type of content makes me feel good, and so I'm just gonna do it, and it is what it is. Would I like to get rich and famous off of this? Absolutely. Not gonna lie, I would love to be rich and famous after this, but you know, that's a process, so we'll see. I have Saturn transiting my 5th house, so and Mercury actually transiting my 5th house at the moment. So it's definitely time to talk about the art. So yeah, that's right. And I've always watched YouTube. I've always loved watching YouTube. The type of media I consume the most, YouTube primarily. It's probably mostly YouTube, and then music is too. And then movies and TV shows right now are very low. So that's why YouTube. So yeah, that's me. That's what you can expect from this channel. I'm going to add, clearly I'm doing beauty content right now, so I'm going to add maybe the occasional beauty video, especially on weeks where I don't want to sit down and film in front of a camera and have kind of an easier editing time where I just have to edit the audio and then put it over some footage. Definitely expect more of these because I liked doing this. And then also definitely expect maybe some lifestyle content, but maybe not on here. again. I don't want to rule out Instagram and TikTok, especially Reels, because those do well. And also they're the same type of video format. But if I do lifestyle content, it might be here. It might be over on Reels, on Instagram or TikTok. I put all of that stuff in my description for a reason, because I'm planning on using it one day. Yeah, that's it. As far as the other social media I use the most, Twitter, definitely Twitter. I just like, Twitter just keeps me up to date on everything, current events, and it does ruin my brain, but that's okay. Everything ruins my brain by now. So yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching. Socials are in the description. I hope you subscribe. I hope you stay around. I hope that you share your thoughts and comments below. I'm also considering subscribing to an aesthetic on here. I feel like if I had like a solid YouTube aesthetic where I just always look the same, I feel like that might be more intriguing. But if I do a solid YouTube aesthetic, it's just going to be black long sleeve and or t-shirt, along with maybe like a black lipstick. We'll see. I have to get a new black lipstick though. I'm not wearing black lipstick in this video. I'm putting on a neutral or whatever. So yeah, thank you for watching. Socials in the description. Subscribe, leave a comment, tell me anything you're looking forward to from this channel, what type of content you would like to see me do. I'm open to suggestions, trying anything. You can tell me how your day went. Tell me if you like the eye look I do. I'm filming this before I actually I'm recording the voiceover before I've actually filmed the makeup part of the video. So I have no idea what eye look I am doing. I'm probably wearing a black long sleeve though, I'll tell you that much. So thanks for watching. I will see you next week for definitely January music release roundups, where I'll talk about the albums and the songs that have been released this month and what my onions on them are. All right, thank you for watching. I love you. Have a good day. Goodbye.